We lie to ourselves all the time, and it's keeping you stuck in business, it's keeping you stuck in life. And today I'm going to help you get unstuck by helping you uncover the 5 lies that are most likely keeping you stuck where you are and your business at a plateau, and how you can get through that. What's going on, guys? Uriel King here, CEO and founder of Healthpreneur. We help world-class health professionals build world-class coaching businesses that transform more lives. And that's not possible if you get in your own way. What I'm about to share with you here are 5 lies that I've seen over the past 7 years helping thousands of entrepreneurs in our space that's keeping them stuck, and also it's keeping the people they serve stuck. So as you're watching this, I want you to watch this video through 2 lenses. Lens number 1 is how these lies apply to you and how you show up in your life and in your business. And second is how these also show up in the prospective clients that you're looking to serve. Because here's the thing I want you to remember, is whatever is going on for you is what you will see in the world around you. So if you are living through some of these lies, I can guarantee you that it's most likely showing up for you in your conversations with prospective clients. So why should you listen to me? Well, really quickly, I've been at this for 20 years. I've built and sold a multiple 7-figure business in the health space. And I'm the leader, I'm the medical mentor, if you will, the business mentor for health professionals who are looking to build big businesses. When I say big, I mean impactful businesses online. We serve thousands of clients over the years, and we're really, really good at what we do. And aside from the tactical and strategic stuff we help our clients with on the business and marketing front, a large part of our work with our clients is between the ears. Because I think we both understand that that's where the game is won or lost. So I'm going to dive into these 5 lies. So the first one here is I don't have time. So again, think about this for people you speak with. I don't know if I have time for this right now. I want to lose weight, but I don't know if I have time. I'm busy, whatever it is, okay? Or for you, I'm considering doing something for my business, right? Investing in a coach or starting a new initiative. I just don't have time, okay? So that's the first lie. It's a big, big lie, because here's the thing. You've probably heard this saying, we always find time for things that are a must. So I'll just give you an example of my weekly schedule. I work 6 to 8 hours per day. We have a multiple 8-figure business, okay? I work out every single day for at least an hour. So that's either in the gym or outside or doing something, or I'm sweating, stretching, strengthening. Minimum 1 hour every single day, no matter what. In addition to that, I have 4 boys. So I spend about 15 to 20 hours per week with them, driving them to soccer, playing and training with them, and that's what my week looks like, okay? Now, aside from those 3 things, I don't do much else. I don't go out and party. I don't hang out with friends. I don't do all that stuff. And the reason for that is because the 3 things I just mentioned, my health, my family, my work, are the 3 most important things in my life. So if someone says hey man, we're doing this thing, do you want to do this on a weekly basis with us or whatever it might be? I'm asking myself, well, I can say to myself, I just don't have time. But what I'm really saying is this is just not that important to me, because we spend where we spend our money and our time is a clarification of what is important to us. It's a clarification of our values. It shows a hierarchy of priorities. Now, in that list of stuff, if I had said I hang out with friends every single evening, then obviously that would be one of the priorities in my life, but it's not at this current stage. So when you hear a prospect that comes to you and they're like, yes, I want to change my health, and they tell you this story, and then toward the actual decision time, it's well, I don't know if I have time for this. How much time does it involve? It doesn't matter how much time whatever you're doing with a client involves, because all that matters is how badly do you want it. So when someone is saying, I don't have time, I want you to rephrase that as, it's just not that important to me. Period. End of story, right? Because if it was, you would make time to make it a priority. I would never say I don't have time to work out. For anyone who doesn't have time to work out, I have a pretty good idea of what they look like, okay? And it's not fit and it's not healthy. And that's simply because it's not important to them. So if you are in your business and you're looking to grow your business, and I see this all the time, right? Hey, Yuri, how long is it going to take me to do this stuff? My answer is, does it really matter? You're making little to no money and you want to be making $1 million. Does it really matter how long it takes? Like, you should be willing to work 28 hours a day to make your dream a reality. I'm not saying it's going to take that long, but I think an hour a day is pretty much all I have. What else are you doing with your time that's more important than getting you out of the shit you're in to build the business you want, right? And this is why I say these are lies that keep us stuck. We tell ourselves these stories that are not serving us, and they keep us broke, unhappy, listless. Okay, stop with the insanity. You have the time. We always can make time for something that's a must, and we always will find excuses if it's not. The second lie is, this seems like hard work. This seems hard. This seems like there's a lot of work involved. Okay, cool, awesome, fair enough. Here's how I see this. It's just not that important to me. That's all that is, right? Very similar to the time thing. Yes, when we're looking to change, right? When we're looking to improve our health habits, when we're looking to better our business, when we're looking to get out of the bubble that's called our comfort zone, naturally that's called change. It's uncomfortable. Like, you can't have what you want by staying comfortable, because you'll just keep getting what you got. So naturally, to get somewhere new, you have to hit that pain line, the edge of the comfort zone, and that doesn't feel good. So it feels like there's effort. It feels like there's sacrifice, which there is. So this seems hard, or, man, I don't know if I can do a couple more things on a daily basis. I'm already really busy. Cool. Well, you're already really busy and you don't have the results that you want. So what does that tell you? It tells you you're doing the wrong things. So it's not about doing more stuff. It's about getting rid of stuff that doesn't work and replacing it with stuff that does. But even if it was a little bit more work on top of what you're doing, who cares? Because it's going to help you get to where you want to go. Again, everyone wants the prize. Very few people want to pay the price, right? They want the end results if it's convenient for them. I see this, I can't, this is the biggest, these two, the first, this one and the first one, the time, the two biggest lies, bullshit stories I hear over and over and over again. The third lie is, I need to insert excuse first, then I'll be ready. So I used to hear this when I was a trainer. After I'd have the consults, right, with the person, this has been great. I'm gonna just get in shape first, and then I'll hire you as a trainer. So I see it in business now. I really need to grow my business. I'm not where I want to be revenue wise. Blah 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 blah. Okay, cool. So conversation. Here's the investment. Here's what it looks like. Cool. Well, I just need a couple more months to get some stuff in order. Make sure my finances are blah 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 good. I'm selling my house first, but I know it's going to happen for sure, because or I'm renting out my condo, and it's going to happen for sure. Once that happens, then I'll be able to do this. And I'm just it's a nice story. Here's the reality: is you will never be ready until you start. Never. Okay? And that's just the way it goes. Why? Because you haven't actually committed. So let's use the example of swimming. Yeah, well, I really want to swim. I really, really do. Okay, don't get me wrong. I really do. But I need to wait until the water is warmer. So I'm just going to wait it out a couple days, or I'm going to wait for the weather outside to be warmer so I'm not cold on the inside. And I'm like, dude, what happens if the heater breaks? What happens if the weather doesn't get warmer? You're just going to allow external conditions to dictate your ability to take action? Or you could just get in the water and swim. See, let's say we're standing on the edge of the pool. You and I together, we're standing by my pool, and you're telling me this story. And I'm like, oh, that's really nice. And then I just push you into the water. And then what happens? You're pissed off at me for a moment. You're like, what the hell, Yuri? Why did you do that? And all of a sudden, you're swimming, or you're floating, or you're keeping your head above water. And now you're in. You're in. And now you figure out a way to make it happen. And this is why I tell my clients the transformation happens at the transaction. Nothing happens until you start. If I were to show you a list of all the conversations I've had with people, whether it's in the DM or on the phone, and people have said, yeah, I'm just waiting to sell my house, right? And I just asked the question, well, what if that doesn't happen? And they're like, no, it's going to happen for sure. Then I'm like, great. Why don't we get started now? And then the proceeds from your house pay for this. And if they knew for a fact that the house is going to sell, then they would go forward, but they don't. And they're using this as a nice little lie. This was the best one ever. This is the best story. We actually had someone have the audacity to book a call with us who was a very ethereal, spiritual thinker, which is totally cool. I'm a very spiritual person too. I'm also grounded in reality. So this individual's like, yeah, this is exactly what I'm looking for. I'm just waiting for some money to hit my account. And the growth specialist on our team who was speaking with this lady had said, oh, cool. Like, do you have a partner, or like, how's that money coming in? She's like, yeah, the universe is depositing $50,000 into my account later this week. He's like, sorry, you said the universe is depositing $50,000 into your account this week? And she's like, yes. And then he said the most brilliant line ever. He's like, great. Well, if the money's hitting your account, well, why don't we just get started now? And then when the money hits your account, you just pay it off. And then she's like, well, that's not really how I work. I'm like, really? And guess what happened with this lady? Here's the secret. Nothing. She did nothing. We never heard from her again. Okay? So I hear these bullshit stories over and over and over again. And like, it doesn't bother me, but like, who do you think is hurting? It's hurting her. Because that story is like, well, when I have enough money, then I'll hire a business coach. No, you don't have enough money, which is why you need to hire the business coach. When I hired my first coach in 2010 for business mentoring, I didn't have the money. It was more money to hire this coach than I made in the previous year. So I could have played that game to like, well, let me just keep doing what I'm doing and I'll make the money eventually. And then when I have the money, which I don't have already, then I'll pay for you. I would still be playing that game if I still thought like that. And I get it. Like, listen, like I was there for 3 years. If you're in that position right now where you think you have to make some money before you can hire someone, I understand. Like I was there for 3 years. I literally made nothing for 3 years. $6,000, $12,000, $18,000. That's pretty much my first 3 years in business. 2006 to 2009. If I kept doing that, I would have kept getting the same results. But here's the fallacy is we think that somehow, even though the past year or however long was absolute garbage, that somehow we're magically going to turn it around. No, you're not. No, I wasn't. Which is why I had to commit first, and then things were going to happen. Now, I actually just had this exact same thing happen with a new client in our early stage program called the Online Authority Accelerator. So we were having a conversation on Instagram by DMs, and she was hesitant. Again, the investment is very minimal. So like, again, relative to our other stuff. But for her, it seemed like a big jump. And that's totally fine, right? Like I understand, wherever you are in business, that's cool. But we kept having the conversation, and, she kind of got out of her own way and got into the program. And then she didn't even start. Like she hadn't even had her onboarding call. She didn't even go through the material. And then she sent me a message on Instagram, basically telling me, she's like, Yuri, I just wanted to let you know that since I joined OAA, I've already made my money back and then some. And I haven't even gotten into the material and she's like, all that changed was my energy. Because she's like, as soon as I committed, I enrolled 3 high ticket clients. I have 3 more lined up for this week. And the only thing that changed was she made the decision. She made the commitment to her bigger self. She said, F what I'm doing. I'm going to move forward. Let's go. She did, again, and this is why I say the transformation happens at the transaction. The minute you pay for whatever it is you need to pay for, there's no backing out. Like you're in. And that's a beautiful energy, because now it's like sink or swim. And this is where a lot of people have a tough time in life, is they're waiting for proof that they can swim before they swim. It's like, dude, that's not how this works. You don't know how to swim. You're not going to figure it out on your own. Therefore, why don't you hire a swimming instructor? Well, just let me doggy paddle for a bit on my own first, and then maybe when I'm ready, I'll hire. No, you're going to die. You're going to drown. So it's like this when-then fallacy. When I have this stuff that, by the way, I'm coming to you for help for, then I will hire you. When I get in shape, then I'll hire the trainer to help me get in shape. What? When I have money, then I'll hire the coach to help me make money. What? It doesn't make sense, right? I have a leak in my roof. Well, let me repair the roof first, then I'll call the roofer. That doesn't make sense, right? So it's like a lot of people are putting the chicken before the egg. It's like, dude, you got to have the chicken first. You're not going to have any eggs without the chicken. So I want you to think about in your life, where are you using this, or where has this lie held you back? And please don't say it hasn't. It has for me. I've caught myself with this many times, and I promise you it's happening for you. And it's slowing you down. It's sabotaging your progress. And remember this, if you have this, if this is part of your narrative, I guarantee you that you are dealing with prospects who are telling you the exact same thing. Because your world is a reflection of your belief system. And if this is inherent in your belief system, then you can only attract a reality that reflects that. And then your ego is going to be like, see, I told you so. So we have to really kind of like dig deep here and get some of these weeds out of our being. Because if we don't, we will continually attract it into our lives. And we'll be like, well, what is it about those people? No, it's not about those people. It's about you. It's about me. It's about us, right? We have to look in the mirror and take 100% responsibility for how things are showing up in our life. The fourth lie is I've failed in the past and I'll probably fail again. So this is probably pretty common if you are dealing with people who have tried multiple things, right? So the person who wants to lose 50 pounds, they've done all the diets, they did Weight Watchers, and they had a little bit of success and then it fell off and then they've gone through the yo-yo roller coaster, right? And what happens is there are two things people need in order to work with you. They have to believe in themselves and they have to believe in you. So if you have someone coming in and they don't believe in themselves, that's simply because they're putting their focus on a past that is referencing negative experiences. And the thing is, if people are more committed to their past than they are about changing it, they can't create their future and you're not going to be able to help them. So one of the things that, again, we don't need to coach potential prospects to become clients and obviously help them through their stuff. But one of the things, and maybe this is more applicable to you in terms of your own work, is, okay, I've done stuff in the past, it didn't work out. So I'll probably fail again. Now, again, you have to dissociate you, the person, from the activity. Because if you associate you, your self-identity, as a failure, well, that's not going to be very empowering, right? Because if you say, I am a failure, that's very different than I failed in the past, okay? I have failed many times, but I don't actually see it like that because I just kept going. So I've never considered myself to fail, to lose, to any of that stuff. It's just like, cool, it is what it is. It happened and I learned from it. Now, here's the reframe I want you to think about is, okay, so I've failed in the past and I'll probably fail again. Like if that's like probably or maybe or possibly or I could fail again, okay? So we're projecting shitty past into future. And by the way, your history has nothing to do with your future. Just so you know, FYI, unless you allow it to come into the future. I want you to ask this. Okay, so maybe you will. So what? Like maybe you'll fail again or it doesn't work out again. So what? Like really think about what's the worst case scenario. Like, are you going to be dead? No. Is it going to be, listen, it's either life-threatening or it's ego-threatening. That's it. Like you either die or it bruises your ego. That's all. Like get over yourself. Who cares? Like if you don't try, how are you supposed to move forward and get better? So what if you fail again? So what if it doesn't work out? Here's the thing is like a lot of people look at starting something as black and white. So I'm starting this new thing. It didn't quite work out last time, so maybe it won't work out again. Okay, cool. That's assuming that this has to be the panacea that solves all the problems. Well, how are we judging success? Are we judging success from A to Z? Or what if we could just look at, well, if this got me from A to D, at least I'm making progress. So maybe you want to chunk down your expectations. And this is something I deal with a lot with people considering working with us. It's like they have repeatedly failed in other coaching programs. And first and foremost, I'm like, whoa, hold off, dude. What's going on with you as a person? Because all those coaching programs can't all be shit because they have success stories. So let's talk about what's going on with you, because that's where this is. But it's like, well, like if there's many failures in the past, like they're thinking, well, Yuri, I trust you. I trust what you guys are doing is amazing. But how do I know this is going to work for me? Which is another way of saying, I don't believe I can do this. I'm like, well, cool. Like, I'm not going to sell you on this. And you got to tell me why you can do this. But even like, what does success look like for you? Like, this has to be like the one decision investment that's going to solve every single problem in your business for the rest of time? Probably not. Like, we're going to get you from A to D or F or G or whatever. But then guess what? You are going to run into a lot of dips. You're going to run into problems, new levels, new devils. And guess what? There will be another decision, another commitment at some point to then elevate to the next level. So it's never about this worked or it didn't. It's to what degree. And also looking at what am I learning from this? Like, how can I grow from that opportunity? Because it's like, you don't really ever fail unless you see it as a blatant failure and then you just stop, which is a very limited way of living life. So I've failed in the past. I'll probably fail again. Again, just try to reframe that like, so what? Maybe you will. Who cares? Just try it. Go, right? Nothing ventured, nothing gained. And no one's inspired by someone who just gets stuck in their head and doesn't move forward because of fear. Again, what's the worst case scenario if you did this? What's the best case scenario? And what's the probability of the worst case scenario happening if you actually commit yourself, right? So think about, again, I'll just use the example of swimming or riding a bike. I tried riding a bike yesterday. It didn't work out too well. I fell over and I bruised my knee. So if I get back on the bike today, maybe that'll happen again. Sure, it might happen again. So what? What's the worst case scenario? Are you going to die? No. Are you going to get hurt? Maybe, and it's temporary. But are you going to build the skill of learning how to ride a bike? Best case scenario? Probably closer to the yes there. Yeah. And what are the payoffs of being able to ride a bike for the rest of your life? So are you willing to take a chance and believe in yourself and maybe get a little bit of a scuff so that you can build the skill of having, the skill to ride a bike for the rest of your life? That's all this is, right? It's like, what's the risk? What's the payoff? And the payoff usually, if you're a big thinker, is very, very exponential in most cases. Okay, the fifth lie here that's holding a lot of people back, might be holding you back, keeping you stuck, plain small, and not where you want to be, is it's not too dissimilar from what I just shared, but this one's big, is I got burned in the past. I'm scared this will be the same. Okay, and it's a little bit different from the fourth one that we just talked about. This one is more about they did this to me. Okay, so the fourth one was more about like I failed. This one is more about like they out there did this to me. And I want to stop this story because it doesn't serve you. This is probably the biggest narrative I see come into our world. I want to give you a little bit of a different way to think about this. Past hurt is going to inform future fear unless you reframe it. So here's how this happens is there are three pillars, three human vices that basically amplify human suffering. One is hurt, right? And hurt is this happened to me, right? That's how we get hurt. This happened to me. They left me. They cheated on me. They didn't give me what they said they're going to give. Like it's all about them did this to me. That's how we feel hurt. The second vice is upsets, where we get angry. So hurt then escalates into anger. And anger is like, why did this happen to me, right? So we're asking like, why did this happen to me? This shouldn't have happened to me, instead of just accepting the fact that it did. And then the final vice is fear. Fear is like, well, I don't want this to happen again. I don't want this painful thing to happen again. So it's hurt, upset, fear. Those are the three vices that cause pretty much all human suffering. So we can live there, or we can just say, well, how do we reframe that? And I want to give you three simple things to think about to reframe this. Number one is you take hurt. So the first thing is instead of hurt, think of it as gift. So hurt is they did this to me, right? This happened to me. A gift is this happened for me. See the shift? So I'll just use the example of like when I lost my hair when I was 17. I could say, well, the medical community and the food supply did all this shit to my body and I lost my hair. So that happened to me. I'm like, well, maybe that's part of it, but I always looked at this as a gift. Like this happened for me. Losing my hair was the best thing that ever happened for me because I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now if that hadn't started the whole cascade. Okay, so gift, we reframe hurt into gift. Then upset. We transform upset into gratitude. Gratitude, which is what can I appreciate about this situation, right? What can I appreciate about the fact that I lost my hair? Well, in the moment, it's like, well, nothing, but there's opportunity to appreciate me and be grateful. Like I remember a lot of people are like, man, that must have been really hard losing your hair and you're like your senior year of high school. I'm like, honestly, not really, because at the time I remember, I'm like, it's only hair. I still have my legs. I can still play soccer. It's like everything else, I'm fine, right? So I looked at the other side of the coin where instead of like freaking out, I was like, it's only hair. At least I still have everything else. So how can we turn upset into gratitude? And then how do we turn fear into growth? So growth is asking the question, how can I grow from this? What can this help me become? How can this situation help me grow and become better? So for me, again, losing my hair was like, okay, this happened for me. it's only hair, it's not my limbs, whatever else. Growth, what's the opportunity here? What can I learn about like why this happened so I can then share this with other people? So I turn my mess into my message. And that's why it was it was the most amazing gift, is I was, instead of like sitting in my own like sorrows, I said, no, I was hell bent on figuring this out first and foremost for myself. And then I'm like, well, if I could figure this out for myself, then I can share this with more people. And that's why I love helping health professionals, because a lot of times we go through this process of initially maybe it's hurt, upset, fear, but then it turns into a lot of times this gift, gratitude, growth, right? Where so many health professionals have been through their own health challenges and they eventually reframe it in such a way where they're like, you know what? I don't want other people to suffer with this. So therefore I'm going to take my learnings and help them, which is amazing. And that's one of the easiest ways to go from I got burned, I'm scared this will be the same, into a new reframe. So think about this. If you've been in a relationship and someone cheated on you, yeah, it can hurt you for sure. But again, we're holding on to a story that's not serving us. How do we reframe this in such a way that we can move forward so we don't keep pulling this baggage with us for the rest of our life? Or maybe you invested in a coaching program or a course before and you quote unquote got burned. Like, did you really physically get burned? No, right? So what really happened? Like why did you feel hurt? And it's most likely because there were expectations and then this is what happened. And that's what causes the discrepancy and the feeling of hurt. Cool. Can we reframe it? Well, where's the gift in that? Well, I learned some stuff, and what can I be grateful for? Well, I'm grateful for the fact that I invested in myself and I developed some skills. And where's the growth? Well, the growth is that that was level 1, and it got me prepared and kind of open-minded to the next thing. And it gave me perspective and clarity about what I don't want and what I do want. So, I mean, this is what I'm talking about. When I say all of your whole life lives between your ears, this is what I'm saying. This last framework here alone could change your life. When you grow a business, it doesn't get easier, right? There's more people, there's more problems, there's more stuff. And there's stuff even as I'm shooting this video in the past 2 weeks, there's 2 things that many, many years ago would have been oh my God, catastrophic. And I'm just it's just another Wednesday now, right? You just move on, you just go, and you're able to reframe things in such a way where you don't get stuck and you don't get these little things or potential big things to hold you back, because you have a way of dealing with the situation up here, and you understand that there's a certain level of acceptance that has to come into this. It's you can't change the past. Just accept it. We're not going to live in the past and hopefully it's going to change. It's over. It's done. But are you done with your history? That's the question. Accept it, move on. And these 5 lies that I've walked you through in this video, I want you to just really sit with these again. How do they affect you, and how have you seen these show up in potential new clients that want to come potentially work with you? Because if you're having a discovery call or a sales call with a prospective client, I promise you, when they're saying stuff like, I need to think about it, it's too expensive, whatever, all of that comes down to these things, right? And if you can identify this stuff for yourself, you'll be able to better serve other people, because you'll be able to recognize where you see the lies. And if you're a good communicator, you'll be able to coach them through that in a way that best serves them. So there we go. Those are the 5 lies that hold so many people back. You don't need to propagate the lies any further. Let me know of these 5 in the comments below, which one hits home with you the most. If you've enjoyed this video, remember to subscribe. Got tons of other videos to help you build a great business that helps more people and live a beautiful quality of life in the process. Thanks, guys. See you soon. This is 10 pieces of advice for new health coaches who don't want to be broke. If you're a new health coach watching this, you're most likely looking to grow your business. You want to get clients, and you want to do so in a way that provides you with a stable income where you can eventually create financial independence.